Hello. Today I'm going to talk about Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan was born March 4th, 1877, and he died July 27th, 1963. He was the seventh child of 11. His parents were Sidney and Elizabeth Morgan, former slaves freed in 1861. Garrett Morgan moved from Paris, Kentucky to Cleveland, Ohio. He only had an elementary school education, and he left at age 14. One of his last inventions, but definitely one that is very important, is the traffic light. Now, the traffic light that you see outside, if you were to go outside, is very different from the one all the way back in 1923. But before 1923, there was 1886, when the first car was made. This means that cars were around 30 years before a traffic light was even considered of being made, meaning that drivers would just go around driving, not caring about the pedestrian. They would just go on by. More wrecks happened, definitely more casualties. So, Garrett Morgan came along and invented the traffic light. This traffic light looked very different from the traffic light we see today. This one was more T-shaped, or a cross, if you will. It was a T-shaped pole with three settings: stop, go, and all direction stop. You probably think this means that one sign meant go, one sign meant stop, or one sign said go, or one sign said stop. They all said stop. But the reason for this is, if one sign was up and it was like this, the T was like this, it means you would stop. And if it was all the way down, that means you would go. If it was half mast, that is the equivalent to a blinking yellow light, where you would slow down and let the pedestrian go by. It's kind of the equivalent of a traffic guard today. A cop manually had to operate this traffic light, and Garrett Morgan eventually sold his patent for $40,000 to GE. But before he made the traffic light, he made the gas mask. My personal opinion, I think this is one of the greatest things that anyone has ever made because it saved the life of many. Now, most people who have seen the gas mask have seen it in Biohazard or Bioshock or Team Fortress 2, or if you're young, Fortnite. But it's not just made for, it wasn't even made for war at first. War was not even considered. It was actually made for firefighters. In 1914, it was hard for Garrett Morgan to sell the gas mask, being a black man. He couldn't just go door to door. He couldn't sell it online because online didn't exist. He was having a hard time getting his mask out to the world. But that all changed in 1916, for better or for worse. In 1916, there were miners who were mining under Lake Erie. An explosion went off. So, Garrett Morgan and his brother, they went in and saved everyone. They went in and saved the majority of people. Everyone was okay. But when everyone found out that a black man made this mask, some were intrigued, but most were filled with disgust. They didn't like the idea of a black man making anything that they had to use. So, Garrett Morgan had to go undercover, so to say. He had to pose as a Native American, and a white man had to sell his wares. Race was a very big key in his life. Segregation was very much still a thing, so any black man or woman trying to do anything, it either gets overlooked, overshadowed, or just ignored completely. But even before he made the gas mask, he made what we call today hair straightener. He discovered a liquid that would straighten out the fabric of a cloth. and the fibers would stand on all of its hairs. He tested this theory on his neighbor's dog, and the neighbor's dog's hair was so straight that the neighbor could not distinguish their own dog and chased it away. So he is the reason that most of our products exist. Most of our hair products, clothes products, things that we put in washing machines, different detergents. He's the reason that we have those. To conclude, Garrett Morgan was a great man. Did a lot of great things. Some things were overshadowed. Some things we don't even have all the information for to this very day. But even so, I'm glad I get a chance to talk about what he's done for us, America, and everywhere else around the world. And another side note, if it wasn't for Garrett Morgan, a lot of people in World War I, or the Great War, because World War II did not exist at the time, and no one knew the First War was going to happen in the first place. If it wasn't for him, people would have died, because gas masks played a great role in the war, because mustard gas was developed, and once this got into your body, it was basically, you're done. It's over. You can cover your mouth, you can do whatever you need to, but it's probably not going to work. Something like Garrett Morgan's gas mask helped a lot of people survive, get back to their families, and be able to live a little bit longer. So, we thank you, Garrett Morgan, for everything that you've done, and your name will go on. Thank you.